Right. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all well, having a great day and all that stuff that I usually say. Well, anyway, I hope you're fine and you're having a great day and everything else. I'm just waiting for the big storm to arrive here, to be quite honest. But yeah, hopefully it won't hit and we'll be fine. So anyway, I hope that you're all okay, like I say. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to review match day 15 of the FA Premier League, the games that were played over this weekend just gone, and finished finally last night with that shambolic performance from Arsenal at Everton when they lost 2-0 to Rafa Benitez's men. So let's get into it and see where it takes us. So anyway, and feel free to come in, put a comment in, and have a chat with me about what happened over the weekend. Give me your thoughts and so on and so forth. If you're watching on playback, thank you very much for coming and checking out Warren's Team Talk. And please put a comment in if you feel so inclined about what you thought about the games over the weekend and what you thought about all the different talking points, because there are a few. So yeah, let's get into it. But before we do any of that, please remember to like the video. Please remember to share the video around with as many different people as possible. And please remember to subscribe to my channel. That would be really, really great if you could do that for me. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. So let's look first of all at the Premier League table before match day 15 kicked off. And as we can see there, Chelsea was at top of the league. Manchester City were in second. Liverpool were in third. West Ham fourth. And Arsenal were fifth. Tottenham were sixth. Manchester United were seventh. And Wolves were sat in eighth. And the bottom three saw Burnley on 10 points, Norwich City on 10 points, and winless Newcastle United were on 10 points as well. So, yeah, that was the state of play, really, in the Premier League table at the start of the weekend. So let's move on and look at what happened in the matches. So the first game of the weekend saw West Ham take on Chelsea at the London Stadium, the Olympic Stadium there in Stratford. And West Ham defeated Chelsea by 3-2. And I don't think a lot of people were expecting that, that's for sure. But the first half, I thought Chelsea were probably the better side, just about. And they deservedly went in at the break 2-1 ahead. And then in the second half, West Ham drew level and then finally won the game with 3 minutes left to play. And you could see the delight on the face of David Moyes when that winning goal went in. He was fist pumping. He was over the moon. He really was. He was absolutely delighted. So fair play to them. They got the win, and it was a great win for West Ham over their great London rivals. So, yeah, they must have been absolutely delighted. So that's Liverpool they've beaten now. They've beaten Manchester City. They've beaten Chelsea. So, yeah, they've done really, really well so far this season. And, yeah, fair play to them. Now, the next game of the weekend, it was one of the 3 o'clock games that I covered in my Matchday Live show that always goes out for the 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday. And Newcastle United took on Burnley in a relegation 6-pointer, an absolutely massive game for both clubs. and Eddie Howe's men won the game by 1-0 thanks to a goal from Callum Wilson in the 40th minute. That meant that Newcastle won their first game of the season, and it sort of basically what it meant was that they then moved up to 10 points along with Burnley and Norwich City. So we will see in a minute whether Norwich managed to pull clear of the rest of the other two if they won their game at Tottenham, but we'll look at that later. But yeah, so great win for Newcastle. Their fans were absolutely hopping at the end of the game. A great victory for them. And I'm sure that Eddie Howe and everyone else connected with the club would have been absolutely delighted with that result. So the next game saw Southampton take on Brighton and Hove Albion at St Mary's Stadium in Southampton. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. Southampton took the lead through a young lad by the name of Broha in the 29th minute, who apparently he's Albanian and he's on loan from Chelsea. And then in the 8th minute of stoppage time, Neil Maupay scored an equaliser for Brighton to give them a share of the points. So, it's a big derby game on the south coast, that one. Not as big as Southampton against Portsmouth, but still it's a big derby game nonetheless. So, it was quite a game, that one. And it was bizarre. That was one of the 3:00 kickoffs. And from almost the whole afternoon, nothing was happening. Then all of a sudden, right near the end of the game, there was all these goals flying in. It was absolute madness. But that's Saturday match day lies for you. And that's what tends to happen. Like goals come along like buses. You don't get anything for a while, and then all of a sudden they turn up in clusters. So yeah, it was great. That was great fun. And McManus Sense says, "Evening, Warren. Hope you're good, sir." Nice to see you, McManus Sense. I haven't checked out your channel yet, unfortunately, mate. I'm planning to be able to do that tomorrow. There's been a bit of drama here today. Nothing major, but just a little bit. So hopefully I'll be able to do that tomorrow, and I'll get you on the list. But anyone who's watching this, please make sure you go and check out McManus Sense YouTube channel, and go and check out his videos, put likes on his video, subscribe to him. Really great guy, and it's you'd be really, really helping him if you could do that for him. And it won't cost you anything. It's completely free of charge. So just go and check him out, please. Please, 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 please. And McManus Sense says, "No worries, mate." No, it's absolutely fine, buddy. I'm happy to do it. I really am. I'll always help anyone that I can grow their channels and stuff like that. I just think it's the right thing to do. We're all, as I said to the old school gunner once, we're all in these shark-infested waters together. So whatever we can do to help each other, I think we should. So next game of the weekend was another 3:00 kickoff, was Wolves against Liverpool and Molineux. And this game, all of these games that kicked off at 3:00, Newcastle and Burnley, Wolves and Liverpool, and Southampton and Brighton, all three of them, as far as I was concerned, were absolute snooze fest. Absolute snooze fest. And this game, it was petering out to a 0-0 draw. How Wolves managed to stop Liverpool scoring, though, is beyond me. Liverpool have been going around the country, home and away, slapping teams for fun, scoring 3s and 4s and God knows what else. And yet Wolves managed to hold them at bay until the 4th minute of injury time. And then David Origi come off the bench And lo and behold, he scored the winner. So it was madness, absolute madness. So yeah, so Liverpool won. That took them to the top of the table. Yes, a great win for Liverpool. And Wolves were probably absolutely gutted after going so long of holding them at bay, and then to lose the game like that. It must have been heartbreaking. Anyway, so the next game wasn't so close and so hard fought. Watford got slapped up by Manchester City by 3-1, and Bernardo Silva showed his class yet again, scoring a brace, one in the 31st minute and then one in the 63rd minute, as Watford raced into a 3-goal lead in just over an hour, and Watford pulled one back near the end to make it 3-1. But the scoreline was never really in doubt. And to be honest, Man City could have got more, to be quite frank. So, yeah, Watford 1, Manchester City 3. So there you go. The next game, Leeds took on Brentford at Ellen Road. Leeds took an early lead through Roberts in the 27th minute. Then Brentford equalised to make it 1-1 in the 54th minute. And then 7 minutes later, Brentford went 2-1 up through Canos. And he, as far as I was concerned, did something really, really stupid. And started celebrating in front of the Leeds fans and taunting the Leeds supporters. And if he doesn't get disciplined by the FA, I'm going to want to know why, because that was absolutely disgusting. And then in the 5th minute of injury time, Bamford scored the equaliser for Leeds to make it 2-2. So, yeah, a great point for Leeds, much needed point. But, yeah, Canos, someone needs to have a word with him, and I'd like to think that Brentford will fine him for that, because it was really dangerous, because it could have sparked a riot. Like as it was, there were loads of Leeds fans throwing things onto the pitch and whatnot, and it could have caused a serious disorder, and it's not really acceptable, is it? Really. To be quite honest, you can't be going around doing stuff like that. Then the next game of the weekend, Manchester United took on Crystal Palace, Old Trafford, with Ralph Rangnick's first game in charge for United. His first game sat on the bench, and United won the game by 1-0 thanks to a wonder goal from Fred in the 77th minute. It was. I have to be honest, I didn't actually see the game, but I've heard it was quite a good performance from United. But Palace will be gutted, because that's now 2 defeats, I think, on the bounce for them. Patrick Vieira will be, I'm sure, working hard on the training ground to try and put that right. Good 3 points for United, I guess. So, the next game of the weekend, Tottenham took on Norwich City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and basically they just blew Norwich away. They won by 3-0, and although Norwich, to be fair, they did play quite well, and they could have, they could have made the score. Like, the scoreline could have been a lot closer than it was. But Antonio Conte is starting to work his magic by the looks of it. The rest of the league better watch out, I feel, as much as it pains me to say that, because being an Arsenal fan, I'm not too enamoured with Spurs, but you have to give credit where credit's due, I guess. And they won the game by 3-0. So sadly, from my mate's team, Norwich, they got turned over. So, but I'm sure that the new Norwich boss, what's his name? Oh God, that's terrible. My memory is appalling. It really is. I need to start making notes before I do these videos. The new Norwich boss, I'm sure that he's going to turn it around and he's going to get him out of trouble. I'm 100% convinced of it, because I think he's a quality manager. I really do, and I think Norwich should be really happy that they've got him. So anyway, moving on. Next game up, Aston Villa against Leicester City, and Aston Villa won by 2-1. Another win for Steven Gerrard. That's now, I think he's won 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5. I can't really remember, since he come down from Rangers. And 2 goals for Konsa and 1 from Leicester for Barnes. And it's looking a bit worrying for Brendan Rodgers. And he was questioned after the game about what he thought about the game. And his comment was, as far as I remember, that they need to work on defending set pieces. So I suspect that the Leicester team will be doing a lot of work on the training ground, since that would have been doing a lot of work on the training ground over the last few days, trying to put that right. So the McManus sense, Gerrard's doing the business at Villa. That's a process you could trust. Yeah, man, he's doing well. He's certainly getting the new manager bounce, isn't he? So yeah. But he's always been a good leader. Even when he was a player at Liverpool, he showed good leadership skills there. I thought he should have been the England captain a lot more than he was. I thought he was the ideal candidate to be England captain, but still, what do I know? I'm just some numpty who doesn't really know what they're talking about, apparently. So there you go. But yeah, there was one massive talking point from this game, though, was that I think there was a free kick and there was a scramble in the area, and Kasper Schmeichel managed to get one hand onto the ball, and then the Villa forward Konsa kicked the ball out of his hand and put it in the net. And there's been a big debate about whether or not he had the ball under his control or not, because in the rules of the game, even if you've only got one hand on the ball, if it's deemed that you've got the ball under your control, then people aren't allowed to kick it out of your hands. And their goal was allowed to stand, and it caused a lot of consternation. So, yeah, I don't know what anyone else thinks about that. Please put it in the comments section about what you thought about that goal. I personally think it was under his control, but I don't know. I'd be interested to see what anyone else thinks. But yeah, let's move on. And then the final match of the evening. Oh my good God, what an absolute disaster this was. Arsenal against Everton at Goodison Park. Now, Everton, they haven't lost at home since the 25th of September. Sorry, they haven't won at home since the 25th of September when they beat Norwich 2-0. And in fact, that was the last time they won any game of football. Yet Arsenal turn up and they gifted them the win, in my opinion. We couldn't keep hold of possession. And in fact, I saw a really alarming stat that said that during the first half, Arsenal only had 2 touches of the ball in Everton's penalty area. That is absolutely damning. Damning. I mean, it really is. But anyway, I'm not going to go into a rant about that now. I'm going to do another video tomorrow reviewing the Everton-Arsenal match properly when I'll be talking about that. But yeah, Arsenal lost the game by 2-1. Everton had 2 goals disallowed through VAR for offside, which I thought were very marginal and very, very iffy, to be quite honest. And they could have had 4. And I think the Everton boy who stamped on Tomiyasu's face was very lucky not to be sent off. I mean, you know, I heard Ali McCoy talking on the radio, and he was adamant that that lad knew what he was doing when he stamped on Tomiyasu's face. So he said, if you've played the game, you will know that he knew what he was doing. And that's all he said. He said, I'm not saying that if you haven't played the game that you wouldn't know. He said, but I'm saying if you have played the game to any level, you will know. So there you go. And the McManus says we were a joke last night. How was this clown still got his job? Mate, that's what I'd like to know. So 15 games and 6 defeats. I mean, it's just crazy. Teams don't, championship winning sides don't even lose 6 games throughout the course of a season. And we've lost 6, and it's not even halfway through December. It's a shambles. Absolute shambles. So, yeah, Arsenal's goal came from Odegaard. And, yeah, Richarlison had 2 goals disallowed, but he finally got himself on the score sheet in the 80th minute. And then Damari Gray got the winner in injury time with an absolute stunner of a goal, to be quite frank. So, yeah, that was the matches. That's the Premier League table as it stands today. Man City are back top after their 3-1 win. Liverpool are in second, a point behind, and then a further point behind are Chelsea. And then in fourth are West Ham, 5th are Tottenham, 6th are Manchester United, 7th are Arsenal, and 8th are Wolves. The bottom 3 it consists of Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich, and they're all on 10 points. Norwich having won 2 games, but they've drawn less and lost 2 more than the other 2, so that's how they're bottom. We got a chat here from a chap called Sid Freeman. Hi there, Sid. I'm not sure that I've seen you in my chat before, mate. So you're very welcome to Warren's Tea Talk. I hope you're enjoying the video. Thanks very much for joining us. It's really nice to see you. So yeah, thank you very much for popping in. Right, so that's the league table, and then like we were saying, me and McManus Sense were saying just before you arrived, Sid, I think Arsenal have now played 15 games. Because McManus Sense and I are both Arsenal supporters. I'm not sure who you support, but Arsenal have won 7, drawn 2, and lost 6 out of 15, and we've only managed to score 18 goals. And we conceded 22. And I'd just like to point out to anyone who's watching this, right, the last time that Arsenal went this far into a season with a negative goal difference, and I've checked it in my Arsenal book. I've got this book here. I'm going to just show you. Excellent book. I thoroughly recommend it to anyone who is an Arsenal supporter. There you go. I don't know if you can see that, can you? Can you see that? Yeah. It's called Arsenal, A Complete Record, 1886 to 2018. And the authors' names are Josh James, Mark Andrews, and Andy Kelly. I bought it on Amazon. It's not that expensive, and it's got loads of interesting facts and stats and whatnot in it. And yeah, the last time that Arsenal went this far into a season, with a negative goals difference, right? And this is unbelievable, was the 1912-13 season, a season where Arsenal were relegated. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to get relegated. Right, don't get it wrong. But that is absolutely appalling. It really is. Sid Freeman says, cheers, Warren, and I'm a Stockport County fan. Oh, hi, mate. Hi, mate. Nice to see you. So I hope that you enjoyed my videos about Stockport in the FA Cup. I'm sorry to see that you lost the other night against Rotherham. I was cheering you on, but I hope that Stockport do well for you for the rest of the season. I have been to Stockport's ground. I went there to watch Maidstone United many years ago when they were in the Football League, and it was mad. I was travelled there with the Maidstone supporters, and we were allowed back on our coach at the end of the game, but Stockport County decided they were going to do a fire drill, right? So we were allowed outside of the ground. We were allowed to sit on our coach, but we weren't allowed to go anywhere, right? And bear in mind, this was for an evening game as well. So it was like 8:30, 9:15. So it was about 9:30 in the evening, and we had about 5-6 hour coach journey back down to get ahead of us, and the police wouldn't let us go anywhere. So it started kicking off on the coach. Some guy in the coach threw a beer can out of the roof of the coach window. You know those windows that you can open up, and he got that open and then threw a can out the window because he got so frustrated. He nearly got us all arrested because the police got on the coach, demanded to know who had thrown the can, and if we didn't tell them, they were going to arrest all of us. It was just absolute mayhem. It was absolute mayhem. But now I look back at it and it was really funny. It was mad. I think I remember the game you're on about. What year was it? Oh, God. It must have been about 1990, I think. It was madness. Stockport won, I think, 1-0. And Maidstone played really badly, I have to say. We were dreadful. Because I was a Maidstone United fan as well. Because at the time, they were my local club. So, yeah, it was bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And, you can... If you're interested in hearing about any of my other stories, I've got these videos called the Groundhopper Diaries in one of my playlists. Go and check out some of those if you want. I've been Rochdale, Carlisle, Aldershot, watching football, and it was an absolute madness. It really was. Never mind, I was 17. I was 17 years then. Wow. Yeah, but it was crazy. It really was. I remember us playing them in the FA Trophy a few years ago. Really? How did they get on? But yeah, anyway, so moving on. Now, we've got a prediction game in Warren's Team Talk. And I'm just going to go through the predictions I made and the results of the games. And I predicted that Chelsea and West Ham would draw 1-1, and the result was 3-2. Wrote that down wrong. Sorry about that, guys. And then Newcastle against Burnley, I said it would be a 1-0 win for Burnley. And in fact, it was the other way round. Newcastle won by 1-0. Then Southampton I said would draw 1-1 with, that's all wrong. That's completely wrong. And it was, in fact, a 1-1 draw. Yeah, ignore that. That's nonsense. So please ignore that. That's completely wrong. I don't know what's happened there. Yeah, that's not what happened. So, yeah, just ignore those because this page is right, though. Okay, so just ignore the first page because that's completely wrong. Leeds against Brentford, I said it would be a 1-1 draw, and it was a 2-2 draw. The next fixture, Palace against United, I said United win by 2-1, and they won 1-0, United. Tottenham, I said, would lose 2-1 at home to Norwich, but in fact they won 3-0. And then Aston Villa and Leicester, I said it would be a 1-1 draw, and in fact Villa won by 2-1. And then finally, I said Everton and Arsenal would draw 1-1, and Everton won by 2-1. So, some more chats here from Sid. Sid says -17. That was not 17. That's funny. That really is funny. And I think we won 2-1. Yeah. No. Yeah, because they've been going back up the pyramid, I believe, since they had all that financial trouble and went and shut down, and then there was a Phoenix club, and they started right down the bottom, back down the bottom of the pyramid. But they're working their way back, bless them. So yeah, so the people competing in this competition at present is a guy by the name of James D, and he's winning the competition at the moment by 7 points. He's on 92 points. And then Mick is a Norwich fan. He's second with 85 points. I'm currently third with 73 points. And then there's another guy called Jamie who's in fourth place with 8 points. So, yeah, it's just a bit of fun, really. There's no prizes on offer. We just do it for a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun between us all. If any of you are interested in getting involved, towards the end of the week, every week, I put a video out where I preview the upcoming Premier League fixtures and tell you what I think is going to happen, what I think the scores will be. And while I'm doing that live stream, you can either come in and give me your predictions and I'll make sure you get entered. Or you can email them to me at Warren's Team Talk email address, which is warrensteamtalk@outlook.com. Let me just put that into the chat. So that's Warren's Team Talk at Outlook.com. Yeah, so if you want to enter, all you need to do is come into the chat when I'm doing that live stream. Give me your predictions, or email them to them. Email me them. All you have to do, make sure you send me those predictions by 5 o'clock on the day before the first game kicks off. So if the first game kicks off on a Saturday, make sure you send me your predictions by 5 o'clock, or on the Friday. And if the first game, as it is sometimes, is on a Friday night, then you need to make sure you get them to me by 5 o'clock on the Thursday. I hope that makes sense. There's also information about this competition on the Warren's Team Talk Facebook page. So if you want to have a read about it at your leisure, go and check that out. I'll put a link to the Warren's Facebook page in the description of this video for anyone who's interested. So yeah, that's the Warren's Team Talk prediction competition. So let's move on. Right, okay. So there's another chat here from Sid, and Sid is saying, "Yeah, we dropped down from the Championship to Conference North. Now we're in the conference and favourites to go up, but we were never a Phoenix club, actually." No, well, I'm glad to hear it, mate, because it's horrible. Honestly, mate, it is absolutely heartbreaking. It was one of worst experiences I think I've ever had seeing Maidstone United go through that. It was really, really painful, but especially when the local council refused to support the club as well. It was horrific. Anyway, so I just want to big up the GoonerClaude Trust. The GoonerClaude Trust was a charity that was set up in memory of Claude, the famous Arsenal fan who used to go on AFTV giving his opinions about everything to do with Arsenal. He sadly passed away earlier this year, and his daughter and the guys who now run his YouTube channel set it up in his memory. And the idea is that they give disadvantaged people, particularly young children or disabled people, the opportunity to go to games at the Emirates. And they've got tickets in the most exclusive part of the ground. I think they're called the Platinum membership. And so it's a really worthwhile charity. Claude felt very passionate about, especially kids getting the opportunity to go and watch like football matches and stuff like that. It's a really worthwhile charity. Then there's some other great YouTube channels here that if you're interested in anything to do with Arsenal, will be very interesting for you. There's the Old School Gunner YouTube channel, the 3 Pointers TV YouTube channel, Arsenal Alex, DrawnByDre, the Aussie Gooner, and the Claude and the Banstas channel. Now, the Claude and the Banstas channel is superb anyway in its own right, because there's two guys who run that show who go on it, they're presenters, and they fight like cat and dog about Arsenal, in particular about Mikel Arteta's suitability to be manager. And the debates get really heated sometimes, but it's great. The two guys are two of the loveliest people you could hope to meet. But the thing that's good about that channel, I only found out this recently, is that some of the money they make from their YouTube activities goes to support the GoonerClaude Trust. So even by watching their videos, you're helping the GoonerClaude Trust and helping to give opportunities to kids and disadvantaged people who wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to go and watch a game of football, the opportunity to do so. So very worthwhile thing to do, in my opinion. And that's the email address. Yeah, Sid Freeman says, rest in peace. Absolutely, Sid. Was a lovely guy, very passionate as well about his football. So that's my review of match day 15. I hope you all enjoyed that, guys. And thanks very much for everyone who's watched and come into the live chat. A big thank you to Sid Freeman and to the McManus Sense for coming in and joining me. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And I just want to thank as well to anyone. I want to give a big thank you to anyone who's going to be watching this on playback as well. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please feel free to put a comment in the comment section about what you thought about the games from match day 15 of the Premier League. I'll be interested to hear about what you think, and particularly about that incident involving Kasper Schmeichel. That really took my eye, to be honest. And the incident involving Canos when he went and started taunting the Leeds supporters. I'll be interested to hear what you think about that one as well. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, stay safe and look after yourselves and be careful with this storm that's coming. And yeah, remember to share some love and kindness around the world. And yeah, thanks very much for watching once again. And I look forward to seeing you all again really soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.